Throughout history, from the pages of philosophy to the depths of psychological research, one message repeats itself: what you believe, you become. Every major accomplishment, whether in science, art, business, or personal development, started not with a guarantee, but with a deep, unshakable belief. That belief, in many ways, rewrites reality. But what is it, exactly, that makes belief so powerful? And why does science increasingly show that our mindset is often more important than our circumstances? In this video, we're diving into the psychology of belief, real-world examples, cognitive science, and the philosophies that prove one thing: if you believe it deeply enough, you can achieve it. Your brain is not an objective recorder of facts. It's a filter, constantly sifting, ignoring, prioritizing, and interpreting information based on what you already believe. This is known in psychology as confirmation bias, the brain's tendency to seek, interpret, and remember information that confirms pre-existing beliefs. If you believe you're not good enough, your brain will highlight every mistake and ignore every win. If you believe you're on the path to success, your brain will focus on growth, progress, and opportunity. Belief doesn't just guide how we interpret life. It literally edits reality to fit the story we've already told ourselves. It influences our attention, memory, emotional response, decision-making. That means your beliefs are not passive. They're creative forces shaping your experience and outcomes every single day. Let's talk about the brain. Studies in neuroscience show that visualization and belief activate the prefrontal cortex, responsible for planning and decision-making, and even trigger the reward systems linked to dopamine. In simpler terms, when you believe in your goals, your brain behaves as if you're already moving toward them. This is the same principle used by elite athletes who rehearse their victories mentally before they ever compete. Olympians, CEOs, and high-performing individuals leverage belief not as wishful thinking, but as mental rehearsal that builds actual neural pathways. When you believe, you take more initiative. You solve problems more creatively. You bounce back faster from setbacks. In short, you behave like a person who succeeds, even before the results show up. Let's ground this in real science. Albert Bandura, one of the most respected psychologists of the 20th century, introduced the concept of self-efficacy, the belief in one's ability to succeed in specific situations. His research showed that people with high self-efficacy set bigger goals, persevere longer, handle failure more effectively. Another fascinating study? The placebo effect. Patients given sugar pills but told they were receiving treatment often improved just as much as those receiving real medicine. Why? Because they believed they were healing. Belief literally changed their biological response. Even more extreme is the study by psychologist Ellen Langer at Harvard, where elderly men were immersed in an environment designed to resemble 20 years earlier. After just 1 week, they showed improvements in posture, memory, hearing, and even vision. Why? Because they believed they were younger. Reality followed belief. Behind every inspiring figure is a moment where belief carried them through when logic said stop. Thomas Edison failed 1,000 plus times before inventing the light bulb. His belief never wavered. Oprah Winfrey was told she wasn't fit for TV. She believed otherwise, and built an empire. Nelson Mandela spent 27 years in prison, believing in freedom, even when it felt impossible. What set them apart? Belief came first. Results came later. These weren't miracles, they were outcomes built on vision, resilience, and unshakable trust in something not yet visible. Philosophers have echoed this truth for centuries, Nietzsche said. He who has a why to live can bear almost anyhow. William James, the father of American psychology, argued that belief in one's capacity to act is essential for progress. Viktor Frankl, in Man's Search for Meaning, demonstrated that belief in purpose kept concentration camp survivors mentally alive. They weren't just speaking metaphorically. These ideas reflect an essential human truth. Belief is not naive, it's necessary for survival, transformation, and achievement. Let's be real, belief doesn't always come easy. Especially if you've failed, been rejected, or talked down to. But here's what matters: you don't need to believe in the entire mountain, just the next step. You can build belief over time. Start small, celebrate tiny wins. Surround yourself with people who believe in you. Repeat affirmations grounded in action. Visualize one successful outcome each day. Belief is a muscle. The more you use it, the stronger it becomes. You're not too late. You're not behind. You're not broken. You're becoming, and that process begins with a decision. I choose to believe in myself, even when it's hard. Especially when it's hard. Because belief isn't just a mindset. It's a strategy. A tool. A superpower. And when you believe long enough, deep enough, hard enough, eventually the world will start to believe in you too. If this video spoke to you, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. We're building a space for deep thinkers and dreamers, just like you, who know that belief isn't the end of the story. It's the beginning.